Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Trishell, but you can just call me Trish. Today's video will be 20 tips/habits that you can do that will allow you to earn a 4.0 GPA in college or in high school. Some of these tips do only apply to college students, but most of them can be used for both college and high school students. I hope this video is helpful. If it is, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share with a friend who would also find some of these tips useful. And we're just gonna get right into it. So I have all the tips typed out on a Google Docs. I'm just going to read them off my other phone. I have sections, and within the sections there are like tips. So the first section is self-care. I know life gets overwhelming, especially when we're in school. We take an average of 12 credit hours. Then you have a job if you have to work to help pay your rent or tuition. Then extracurricular activities, maybe you play a sport, plus socializing, and of course we have stuff that goes on outside of school, so maybe family issues, so it could get overwhelming. I want to say make sure you're eating every day. I set reminders on my phone, so I have a 7 a.m. reminder for breakfast, then 1:30 for lunch, because one of my classes ends at 1:20, so I'm in my class one starts at 8:30, so I make sure I schedule it like that to coincide with my class time, so I'm not late or anything. So yeah, breakfast at 7, then I have lunch at 1:30, and dinner whenever I reach back, honestly. But you should schedule one, but I'm not gonna tell you something I don't do. Yeah, so set reminders on your phone. It's been really helpful to me. I want to say some scientists say you need 8 hours of sleep, some say 6. Personally, I don't really like when they can't agree on stuff, because then it makes me, but anyways, I sleep at least 5 hours. I think that's good, but you should know your body to know how much you need. I know people who only sleep for like 3 hours and they're good. I can't do that. I would be like rude to everyone, but yeah. And another, the last thing we have for self-care is counseling if you need it. So my school has CAPS. What does it stand for? My school has CAPS, so you can schedule free counseling with a counselor on campus and just talk to someone. They also, it's like individual, and they have group where you can talk to people who are going through the same things as you or different. So make sure you're looking. I think every college has some type of system like that, so make sure you look into it to see if you need any therapy or just to talk to someone. Next section is advising appointments/financial aid appointments. So I do this, okay, for me, I do 3 advising appointments. I schedule one, like, okay, let's use fall. So in fall, 2 weeks into the fall semester, I have an advising appointment scheduled to talk to my advisor, who has been really helpful for me. I know some people don't like their advisors, they give them incorrect information, but we'll get into that in a second. So I schedule one 2 weeks into the fall semester to talk about how I feel about my classes so far, if I need to switch anything out, if I'm on track, or da-da-da-da. Then I come back, then I schedule a second one in the middle of the semester to, I schedule one in the middle of the semester to ask if there's anything I could do to make my, resume look better, any clubs I could join, the volunteering that she knows about, study groups that my counselor knows about, that I could do to help build my resume, because I am trying to go to grad school. Then I schedule one towards the end of the semester. This one is to ensure, well, first of all, spring enrollment, because we're using fall as an example. So spring enrollment to sign up for classes is towards the end of the fall semester. So I'll go to that one to pick out classes for the next semester, see if I'm on track, tell her if anything changes, like if you fail a class. I haven't failed a class. If you fail a class and you need to maybe retake in the spring, retake a different class that could satisfy that prerequisite or whatever. Since talking about people who say their advisors lied to them or like have led them astray, for UCF and for every other college, because I've checked online, not for every college, but for what I've seen so far, you can, the course catalogs / major catalogs, the major catalogs are online that shows you which classes you need to take, which are required, which are not. So make sure you check against what your advisors say. I trust my advisor, but I still check, because she doesn't, well, I don't want to say she doesn't owe me anything, but They really don't owe you anything. So our next section is getting to know your professors before you go into class. So the most common way people know is rate my professor. Personally, I don't use it. I'm in group chats that have on GroupMe that have to do with my major, and I know people are in my major. So what I do is I just ask them which professor they're taking for a class. After I've gotten the courses I need from my advisor, I ask them which professors they recommend for this course. And you could do it that way, but maybe you don't know anyone who's in your major. So then you should go on Rate My Professor and judge whether or not you would like to stay in that professor's class. Our next section will be planning and time management. So first, let's talk about the syllabi / class syllabi. Okay. So what I do once I get the syllabi, I go on my phone and I download the PDF and in files on iPhones. I'm sure it's available on Androids. You could go, you could highlight, notate and stuff. So that's what I do. I highlight, I notate, see if I'll be able, because some professors, like my physical sciences teacher, he wanted us to have a clicker on the first day of class, and if I didn't read the syllabus, because if I didn't read the syllabus, I wouldn't have known that I needed the clicker for the first day. So I highlight, see their office hours, Then after you've gone to the class, you want to see if they change anything after the first day, because that syllabus day, you see if they change anything on the syllabus. Then if they've changed it and updated it online, then I'll print it and put it in my binder, so I don't have to go on my phone, because whenever I go on my phone, that gives me an excuse to go on Instagram, Twitter. Tip in this section is to get a planner. Where's my planner? 1 second, I'm getting my planner. So I've gotten my planner. It's just a basic black planner I got from Walmart. The brand is Exceed. I got it tax-free weekend, so it's a basic one. It goes by the days of the month. And I just put what it has. So there are many different types of planners. There's one with inspirational quotes for each day. You can write there's also gratitude ones. So you start your day off, write what you're thankful for, and you also end the day off with what you're thankful for. So that could help you, if you have a bad day, of course, help you refocus, be more optimistic for the next day. But mine's just a basic black one that works for me. Like I said, find whichever one works for you. There's ones on Google that you could just print out each, a couple, front and back, because we want to save paper. It goes each by the hours of the day. Sorry about the sun. So it goes by the hours of the day, so 9 a.m., 8 a.m. And you just fill in what you want to do. If that's going to help you be more focused, do it. You can also get boards. If you watch my college apartment tour, you see that I have a board, but I mainly write things in my planner because I can't bring the board everywhere with me. So if you're gonna get either a board or a portable planner, get a portable planner. Next, I recommend not using a mobile planner, because when I go on web courses to check my to-do list to make sure I did everything, I wander off to Twitter and Instagram, and it's a whole thing. So get a paper planner. Also with paper planners, when you write things down, you're more likely to remember. So you'll be like, oh, don't I have an assignment due? Yes, do it. Attendance. So for attendance, the first thing I have in attendance is to know first of all, if attendance is required, go to class. Because if it's required for a grade, absolutely go to class. But if it's not required, I want to say first, know what type of learner you are. Are you a visual learner, physical, or auditory? How do you learn? Because my chem professor, he just read right off the PowerPoints, and attendance wasn't required. So halfway through it, I was like, first of all, I did bad on the first test in chem. This was spring 2019. Yes, I did bad on the first exam because I was going to class every day, going to SI sessions. I'll talk about that in a bit. And I didn't do bad. I got a C, okay, which was my first C, so I was a bit devastated. So anyways, I did bad on that, and I was going to classes every day. So I decided I'm just gonna go home when it's class time, stay in my dorm, because I live in a dorm. When it's class time, I'm gonna wake up, get ready for the day still, but stay in my dorm And during the class time, I'm going to study on my own, go through the PowerPoints on my own, look in the textbook if I need clarification. So determine which type of learner you are, because he was more so going for auditory learners, like he was just reading straight off the PowerPoints. That's not helpful at all to me. So if grade is not required and the professor is not teaching you how you're not learning from the professor, stay home and teach yourself during the class time. Also, when you're in class, it's also important that you participate in discussions if they're discussions. I really enjoyed my physical science class this year because he had demonstrations in class where we could participate, and he lets us discuss with our neighbors, and I like that. It really helped me learn the concepts. So if you know that helps, if you know that's helpful for you, do it. I know, like, I'm a bit shy, but I've gotten better. But if it's important for you to learn, then sometimes just gotta step out. I know it's hard, but if you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, son, please. Okay, let's do notes because we're in class. We're attending now. So for notes, know which way works best for you. For me, color coding my notes works. So I like highlight a section. Okay. I don't know if my work is gonna make sense because sometimes people read my notes, it doesn't make sense. Concept that I understood right away, I'll put it in I have them right here. That easy for me to understand. I could teach someone. I highlight it with yellow, like the title in yellow, and then I write the notes underneath. I don't highlight the whole thing. Stop doing that if you do that. Anyways, well, if it helps, you don't, but just don't like seeing it. Anyways, and if it's something that took me a minute to get, but I got it now, green. Then if it's something that someone else had to explain to me a bit, but I still got it, but orange. If it's something I absolutely do not understand, I'm gonna do it in pink. So yeah, figure out which way works for you. I also use small sticky notes. Where are they? Okay, so I use these small sticky notes. So if I come across a word that I'm doing notes, I don't know what it means, I'm gonna keep the word in it. I'm not, like, I used to find substitutes for the word, but I started doing this. So I keep the word in it. I just find a definition of the word, and I put it on the small sticky note and put it on top. That way you learn, you're learning more words and you've expanded your vocabulary. So I also do that when I'm reading books. Yeah, find an organizational pattern that works for you. And another for assignments, I do assignments at least 2 days before the deadline. So set your own deadlines. Don't wait till it's due at 11:59. I thought you've seen people in guilt doing homework, do it at 11:59, at 11:30. Please. So do assignments at least 2 days before the deadline, or whichever one day. 3 if you want to do it a whole week. Sometimes I do that too if I have time. But like I said, at least 12 credit hours for the average college student. That's 4 classes. Maybe you don't, and you work. And then extracurricular sports, so maybe you don't have time to do a whole 5 days ahead. So try for at least 2 days before the deadline. Expand on the pink highlighter. So if I don't understand something, the next section that helps is office hours. So in office hours, you get explanations. I'm just gonna keep referencing my physical sciences teacher. I'm gonna start referencing my speech teacher. So for my physical sciences teacher, he had the physics help room in the physics building open. We could come whenever he wasn't in class or in a meeting, and he would draw diagrams out for us. He was very helpful. If you go to UCF and you want his name, I'll tell you. I'm not gonna put it on the screen because this, I think you can message people on YouTube, or you could just DM me on Instagram and I'll tell you his name. Because I don't want to put his information, I don't know if he's okay with that. Anyways, yeah, so in office hours, they explain concepts better for you, answer questions, just clear up confusion. Teachers make mistakes too. This is still in the office hours section. So for my communications class, on an exam, there was a concept she told us in class, but it wasn't in class for the exam while we were reviewing, but in the book it was something totally different. So I went with what was in the book, or did I went with what she said? I don't remember. Anyways, but then on the exam there was a question about it, and I chose which, I don't know if it was what she said or what the book said, I can't remember, but I chose one of them and it was wrong. So I went to her, told her, hey, in class you said this, or in the book, I don't remember. But I got 2 points there in my grade. I had an 87 originally on the midterm, and I got a 92 because I told her, hey, the book says this, or you said this, but the exam, you're saying it's wrong on the exam. And she corrected it. So they make mistakes too. You can get extra points. I want to say extra because if they make a mistake, you could up your grade on an assignment. And they want you to come to the office hours. Like my speech teacher, she has like food in there. She just talks. She's really nice. It's between her and the physical sciences. I don't know which one was my favorite, but they were both really nice and helpful. They want you to come talk to them. You make connections. You have me and my speech teacher, we have a lot in common. So I'm not gonna say a lot and drag it, but we have a good amount in common. We could talk about stuff. Yeah, and you just connect with teachers because they're people too. And also, last thing for office hours, if you're going to grad school or medical school, wherever you're going, you're gonna need, or if you're trying to join certain organizations, you're gonna need a letter of recommendation. And also for some scholarships, you're gonna need a letter of recommendation. So absolutely, like, connecting with your teachers and advisors will help when the time comes for that. Section is studying. So first, choose we're gonna talk about a place for studying. So can you focus at home / in your dorm? Personally, I can. Like, I'll just put some music in the background, open the blinds up. Don't lay out. If I lay on my bed, then it's done. It's a done deal. Like, I'm not studying anymore. I'm trying to move out of the sun. I'm not studying anymore. But if I stay in my little chair here around my desk with my little highlighters, I'll be good. So can you focus at home? Can you really? I don't like going to the library because it's too quiet. I know that sounds weird, but it's too quiet. I feel so like I have to. I just don't feel like feeling like I have to do things. So in the library makes me feel like I don't like it. So I'll go to at my school, I'll go to like Tech Commons. They have 2 Tech Commons. So yeah, I'll go to either one, whichever is open. But I prefer to go to, I don't even know if that's Tech Commons 1 or 2. The one by the chemistry building. If you go to UCF, then you know what that is. Or I'll go to the Arboretum. If you watch my vlog, then you see I go to Arboretum. It's kind of sunny there sometimes. So I bring like my mini fan I got from Amazon, and I bring my laptop. If I'm going to Tech Commons, I don't need to bring a laptop because they have laptop desktops there. They do have laptops too, but you have to like rent it. Whereas the desktop's already set up, you just go in there. If I'm going to Arboretum, I bring my laptop. So make sure you plan for your studying. My binder always, and my highlighters. So there are different types of studying. So there's individual studying, which I prefer. I don't like studying people. All the times I've tried studying with people, maybe I just haven't found the right people. But every time I've tried studying with people, like, they wander off on their phones. Then I want to like be a mom, be like, hey, get off your phone. It's just, I'd rather not. So I just like studying, but prefer to study by myself. But of course, you could group study. And my school has SI sessions, which is supplemental instruction. So there's like the TA comes, I only use this for chemistry because that was a trying time. That's when my GPA went to 3.5. That was a trying time. 3.5. It was, anyways, let's not talk about it. So yeah, SI sessions, the TA comes, they explain concepts, tell you what's gonna be on tests, Maybe your school has something similar, find out. Then you could just find one person in your class. This isn't really group studying, it's like just 2 of you guys. So you find one person in your class, see if you guys can keep each other focused and study with them. You should definitely study at different times during the day. Study at different places. That's why I do Arboretum or Tech Commons. The Tech Commons is quiet, but not as silent as the library is. And the Arboretum, like, there's a lot of birds and stuff. People come there, have lunch, go on dates. It's okay. There it is, yeah. Then there's tools. This goes back to what type of learner are you? Or are you visual, physical, So for chemistry and for math class, what was that math class called? Math class, I went to SI. I use YouTube videos a lot for that. I know there's like Chegg, And I'm not paying for that, I hate to say it, but because YouTube, there's a lot of YouTube channels that are so willing and able to help. Maybe you gotta watch a couple ads that cost you nothing but like a few seconds. I'm not paying for stuff, but if you would, but there's different things you can pay for. To our next section, which is a mentor. So for me, I have someone who's in the same major as me. We have common interests. I am trying to find a Jamaican, because I noticed I don't have any Jamaican friends, and that is so sad. But next semester, I found out about JAMSA, Jamaican Student Association. So I'm gonna join that. Well, I'll see if I go, if I like them, and I'm gonna join because I have absolutely no Jamaican friends, and that's sad. Anyways, so you find a mentor. Mine is in the same major as me. Find someone who has the same interests as you, so you guys aren't only talking about school stuff, because that gets boring. But let's go back to studying. Don't study like straight, just studying. Take small breaks. But I know some people, like if they're reading a book, they'll put like sticky notes, like 5 minutes onto the Instagram, or they put food, like candy. Do that. Don't just study completely, because you'll go crazy. Let's go back to a mentor. So someone who's in the same major as you, and you have some of the same interests, because then you guys, like, you don't want to, well, with me, if I have someone who's in the same, I have a mentor or a friend in general, and I only do one thing with them, I'm gonna feel like I'm using them. So make sure you guys aren't only talking about one, just school. Make sure you ask them how they're doing, get to know each other, because a mentor isn't just supposed to be academic, it's supposed to be like a life thing. So make sure it's also someone you trust. The next thing is major related clubs / groups. So you have one that just recently started at Jamaica, at UCF, is the Black Woman in Medicine. Was started by a Black UCF student. Yeah, so that's about that group has Black women who are involved in medicine, interested in joining the medical field, and they all connect. You know, it's a shared community. But not just major related groups and clubs, also different clubs. So I'm in John T. Washington Honor Society, and we don't only do scholars, we volunteer, do little socials. Like I said, JAMSA, you have Caribbean Student Association, Black Student Union. You can find your mentors through these clubs as well. So join those. And then, but mainly make sure you join major related groups, because a lot of them have scholarships to their members. So do that. Let's talk about jobs, which is our second to last. Yes, our second to last section. Make sure, try to find a job that's on campus, because mainly when you have jobs on campus, or let me not say a job on campus. Try to find a job like in an office space where you're working on a computer, because then I find that most of the time they'll let you do work while at work if you're not doing anything. If you're not doing anything job related, like if you guys aren't busy or anything, they'll let you do work. So absolutely try to find a job that will allow that to do. Now, don't take extra shifts if you don't need them. I know a lot of people who overwork themselves so they could buy like new shoes and stuff. Like I said, like our first thing, make sure you're taking care of yourself. So I absolutely understand that sometimes you have to have a job in college to help pay for tuition and rent. So absolutely work if you need to, but don't overwork yourselves. Because then you talk, don't overwork yourself. This section is to have fun. College should be there you go. Should I? No, I'm not gonna say that. College should be somewhere where you should have fun, you know, know yourself, meet people, lifelong friends, So absolutely have fun, but make sure you're holding yourself accountable. Sweetie, please. Make sure you're holding yourself accountable. Make sure you're prioritizing doing your work, taking care of your responsibilities. Because, well, I was going to say it's not free, but if you have scholarships, then. But still, it's someone's money, and if you're here wasting the money, someone else could be doing this. You don't know how people would like this opportunity to be at the school you're at, learn where you're, just the environment in general. So take advantage, but have fun. Like, be responsible, but have fun. I think that's it. So if this video was helpful, like I said, subscribe to my channel, like the video, share it with a friend that would also find these tips useful, and comment down below if you guys want me to do any more related videos related to academics or college in general. I think the next video will be tips on how to applying to scholarships and receiving them, and like thank you letters for scholarships. So yeah, bye.